Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hoon Dok Hae, together with Reverend Yutaka Yamada. Today is Tuesday, the 22nd of March, or the 20th of February in the 10th year of Chongil Guk. Let's begin by offering a bow to our Heavenly Parent and True Parents. Chariot, Kyombe, Paro. And let's recite our family pledge, both in Korean and English. Thank you.
가족맨세 4. 전국 주인 우리 가족은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 찬조 이사인 천주 대가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 4. Our family, the owner of Chongil Guk, pledges to build a universal family encompassing heaven and earth, which is the Heavenly Parent's ideal of creation, and perfect the world of freedom, peace, unity, and happiness by centering on true love. Thank you. I'd like to ask Elise Hansen if she could offer the opening prayer, please.
Prayer. Beloved Heavenly Parent and true parents of all mankind, especially in this time, true mother who takes on the burden to liberate all mankind into a time of Chongil Guk, of the freedom of heart, of the freedom of expressing your love in the way how you created us as your children, as co-creators, so that finally harmony can be created really every moment through our fulfilling our potential of our responsibility that is given to each one of your children. Thank you so much, Heavenly Parent, that we can come together to here in the Hoon Dok Hae under the guidance of Reverend Yamada and also Reverend Cho, and also in exchanging really our own understanding, our own character of that love and understanding what we have been creating in our years of following true parents' guidance, and also the manifestation of your love and heart, but has never been manifested in our history. So finally we can establish that, manifest that in a way how our ancestors have been had the desire to live, but never any confirmation, or never any understanding of the absolute truth, what we can and we are able to live by. thank you for this time, and thank you for all the brothers and sisters who are participating into part of creating that incredible sphere and space. I don't know what we where we are living in, but in the realm of heart and the realm of being guided by you every moment. So thank you so much for this, and I want to offer this prayer in the name of Karen and Lily Hansen, bless the family, and also on behalf of all the blessed families, Archie.
Thank you. And let's give a warm welcome, as always, to Reverend Yutaka as he shares this morning. Thank you.
Good morning, now, brothers and sisters. Thank you for coming this morning from Dok Hae. Today is also a beautiful day. Let's put our attention and heart to begin this day. In the beginning of the moment, the day, what kind of day we will create. This first moment of first motivation and heart is really important. So really, let's seek that. And thank you for your sharing yesterday. Last Sunday, several nations organized, several churches organized the outing service or open service, right? So Trumada is mentioning about Anshil service and also the peace service. Mother is mentioning to organize two kinds of way. So do you know what is the differences? Mother is mentioning about Anshil service is for our blessed family or our members, more internal contents. And another service is about the peace festival to welcome for the new people or social kind of the social service. These two kinds of service we have to think and plan to organize. So what is the differences? So Anshil, when we see about Anshil, this is a Korean word. When we see the word of this Chinese character, An is kind of the settle or safety, or she is attending, and they, il is day. So Anshil meaning the day of attendance for God. So this kind of the meaning. Until now, in our Unification Church era, our brothers and sisters, and the purpose of Sunday service is to give the salvation, and also for the members or brothers and sisters point of view, when we go to the Sunday service, this reason is to, in order to get the salvation, God's word, to revive myself. But the family federation or Heavenly Parents Holy Community era, what is the Anshil or Anshil service? Meaning is to return the happiness or attend God. So from the motivation from receiving something into to giving something, this is the big different attitude and also the moment. And the past Sunday service or peace service, Mother is emphasized, is to open or share the Heavenly Parents and True Parents to all brothers and sisters beyond the religion, beyond the races, and beyond the peoples. Even any kind of person, they can come together and to accept or work together, centering on the will of Heavenly Parents, and to provide this occasion. This is the peace festival. Of course, when we see the our reality, Anshil Day is different in every week, right? Sometimes Monday, sometimes Tuesday. So if we organize Anshil service only for our brothers and sisters, maybe people is not easy to come. Tuesday, 10 o'clock, Wednesday, 10 o'clock, it's not easy. So still we will organize maybe Sunday but that we have to understand the meaning of Anshil service and also Sunday service, the peace festival. So depends on our nation and church how we can organize. Anyway, eventually, if we can organize two kinds of things is good. So Reverend John also thinking maybe we can organize evening service for Anshil or several things. So maybe each nation is a little bit different situation, but these two meaning we have to think and we have to plan for Anshil for our brothers and sisters centering blessed family, more internal contents, and the peace service for opening and welcoming outside the new peoples. So if there are 4 weeks, 4 Sunday in the month, also we can think maybe 3 days is for our internal service and 1 day is opening for our new brother and sisters. That's why now Sydney Church centering Reverend John try to do once a month to have an outing or open service to welcome our brothers and sisters. So last Sunday was really good, as he mentioned. Really new brothers and sisters came together, Nepal and the Afghanistan family member, and they are so much inspired, even including their children. They are so much happy. So they really inspire. I want to belong this group, and I will surely bring the another family or brothers and sisters, a friend, to the next service in outing service. So if we can settle those culture, they are more easier to come. So how we will plan in each centers or each churches, our target is always, of course, internal our brothers and sisters, but in the same time, how we can bring the new life or witnessing or new brothers and sisters to our community, to connect to our heavenly parents and through parents. This is not just making our unification church members. Already through parents, a mother's concept is bigger than that. How we can connect the peace-loving season and the heavenly parents' holy community, and to connect the blessing and to create for the future. So each area, how our mindset and ourselves, how we can create. So if new person come, if they are happy, we become happy automatically, right? That's why we try even 1 person come and all community welcome them. If 2 person come, all people welcome them. How much they are happy and how much we will be happy. So we can feel this atmosphere or spirit again. So Trimada is emphasized to save and revive people's spiritual life. This is the heaven's wish. So even one lost family or even lost children come back again, then this is really great happiness to our heavenly parents and to the parents. Now we started the new 40 days Johnson condition. So during this 40 days time, what kind of goal do we make? For example, at least 3 people, I want to deliver the Trimada's Myanmar to 3 people. Or at least I want to invite 3 people to PCLC or APLC, the social DP workshop, or even peace seminar or open service, even any kind of goal. If we can make, if we can try, then after 40 days, we can evaluate again. Maybe this month I fulfill 3 people, I fulfill 2 people. Then we can do next 40 days. Maybe we can try 1 more people or 2 more people. Then we can reflect ourselves. So if we don't have any wish, if we don't have any desire, heaven cannot work together, or spiritual world cannot work together. But if we wish strongly, and if we could feel or realize this achievement, then you could feel more, and you could have a strong conviction more, and each moment become the exciting moment. So can you imagine that? You make a target and fulfill that. If you make a plan and you achieve that, if we can create even small goal, then each day become the exciting time and exciting moment. Then maybe you want to make a bigger goal or bigger purpose again and again. So really, as the community, let's create those kind of the exciting moment. And if you have achievement or if you have some new realization, then we can share together and we can learn together and we can also develop together. So this time we will start the new 40 days and each moment is a special moment. Really, let's try and let's really create and let's really develop ourselves. So really peace festival and unshielded service. Let's make a plan in each center or each church as well. Thank you. So let's continue our True Mothers anthology, Global Unity Through True Parents. So yesterday, a mother is sharing the story that True Parents started bottom of bottom in 1960. And finally, True Parents achieved to open the era of Choniguk in 2013. So existence of True Parents is only once a history. And the time to spend True Mother now in physically, this is also once in the history and a crucial moment. Mother is talking about we have to restore 1/3 of population and to share the Heavenly Parents and True Parents to 7.8 billion people. Mother is going this way with offering Chonson and ourselves, even also same, from bottom of bottom, even from grassroots, even from one person, we will deliver the message, testify our Heavenly Parents and True Parents, and witnessing. This is really important and most exciting moment. So based on those True Mothers' will, let's continue to read the next part. Heaven and humanity have sought after a world of peace, world without wars and hunger, a world of freedom. But history to this point has been unable to achieve this goal. Father led the history of the providence of restoration through indemnity to victory. However, the truth is that behind it all was too much sorrow, grief, and suffering to measure. That is how it is with indemnity. Father recovered and established everything for us. But the fact of the matter is that we are not in a position where we can just receive it. If we fail to fulfill our responsibility, we too need to pay indemnity. So when we see that True Parents' life course, always there is that indemnity. So in the era of the restoration of providence, in that time, that era is, and that providence is the way to restore from Satan's side to God's side. This was the providential history of restoration. That's why there are many kinds of suffering, painful, or grief. And we could see True Parents suffering life and suffering cause. So True Parents went through those causes and to even pay indemnity by himself, by herself, and finally establish that Chaniguk. So when we see ourselves, there is responsibility and there is also the role. That's why how we will fulfill, how we will achieve. This is very important message. That's why Mother is emphasizing this point. So what kind of era are we living? We have to recognize and we have to understand well. In the past 46 years, the world population of 3 billion has become 7 billion, now 7.8 billion. And it is the wish of our Heavenly Parent and our wish, as well as the responsibility to be fulfilled in our lifetimes, to make sure that no one in the world, not even those living in the far corners of the world, remains ignorant of the Heavenly Parent. Titles like filial son or daughter and loyal patriot cannot be given when you are comfortable, unless you have endured much suffering and difficulty and risked our lives for your parents, devoted all your energies for your country. Unless you have such a heart and have translated it into action, you cannot receive such titles. So Mother is mentioning those words. Mother is mentioning clearly the wish of Heavenly Parents. Mother said, please testify, please introduce until the corner of the world. Mother said, it is the wish of our Heavenly Parent and our wish, as well as a responsibility to be fulfilled in our lifetime, to make sure that no one in the world, not even those living in the far corners of the world, remains ignorant of the Heavenly Parent. That's why when we go to the spiritual world, what kind of things can we bring to the spiritual world? What kind of things we can bring to return the happiness to our Heavenly Parents, to show the happiness to our true parents? When we see our life goal is from our birth time until to going to the spiritual world, how we can learn until the last goal. That's why we know the wish of Heavenly Parents. Then what is the next process? Just we go forward, invest, and fulfill that. So even small step, even small stages. But if we have this heart and go together to know Heaven's wish and know our true parents' wish, then we will just invest and practice. So through this process, Mother is mentioning that we can gain the title as a filial son, filial daughters, and the patriot. So let's really become together filial son and daughters and patriot for the nation of Choniko. So Mother is really sharing those things deeply. So next I want to continue to share about word of Cheonsongyeon. Do you remember yesterday's contents of Cheonsongyeon? We are talking about also the Christianity and the history of Christianity. So Father mentioned yesterday, when we see our Christian kingdom, Christianity is staying still as the spirituality or spiritual foundation. But even they believe God, even they believe Jesus, even believe the work of Holy Spirit. But if there is no physical or substantial foundation on this earth, what's happened? And now also three parents coming, but if only spiritual foundation, what's happened? Last week, when I met the President Hori and we are discussing or sharing several stories and talking about the world situation and talking about the histories, when we see the world, what kind of races leading or having the strong influence in the world? What do you think? What kind of races have a strong influence in the world? Can you imagine? There are so many races, right? So we several discussion. Then maybe one is now strong influence is Chinese people is strong and long history, right? And what is another races? Jewish also strong. And what is another races? Indian also strong. So this is three races. What do you think? There is another races to have a strong influence or power in our world society? Not so much. Australian races is strong. Not so much. Someone races is strong. So there are many races. So anyway, major group is like maybe Chinese or Indian or Jewish. So when we discuss, then what is the really great point or strong point when we observe those group? Actually, those group have a strong family culture and the vertical culture and their tradition. This tradition or this culture is not only just a few years or a few decades or a few hundred years. Their culture or tradition or more than 1,000 or few thousand years. And those culture coming from ancestor to current era to the next generation. And they are really gathering or investing a lot. That's why when we see their powerful things, those things is not happening just one generation or two generations, already long history. We know the four great what you see culture in the history, what you call civilization, four great civilization. So almost those groups are one of the four great civilization. So their history is long time. So Father is talking about if Christianity is having only spiritual foundation, then how they can settle on this earth. This message is really important. We could see the Christians 2000 history, how much they could settle in this world. And now we are welcoming second advent. We are living together with heavenly parents and especially true parents. Then how we can settle this tradition, how we can settle our heavenly parents tradition and will on this earth, not only this generation until 10th generation, 100 generation, and also future generation. This is really important things. That's why Mother is mentioning we have to create not only spiritual foundation, but also we have to create the physical and substantial. We need to create the substantial nation of Cheongguk. That's why now during Mother's time period, how serious it is to create the substantial foundation. Now through Mother is here. Even there are many kind of story or word from others, but Mother is here or Mother is not here is totally different things until creating a substantial foundation or nation. If true Mother is going to the spiritual world, what's happened? Atmosphere or really environment or central figure, those providence is totally changing. So this time period, 2027, is not just ordinary 7-year course. How we can really create the substantial foundation in order to create the eternal tradition for our future generation. That's why Mother is really investing and telling us seriously. So let's read next part. Let us understand clearly that although God is the great Lord and King, he has been starved in heart for 6,000 years. We have to comfort God, although God really has felt like destroying this world with one stroke of judgment. He had held on to his purpose, his hope, and his desire for the earth. Keeping that in his sights, he has persevered as he suffered again, and again. God has a hope, God has vision, God has plan, but our whole human history was going to the wrong way or another way, and the history become proceeding to the different way. So children or humanity went through the suffering course and sad course or painful course. So this painfulness was how much deep, and our heavenly parents, when heavenly parents see those suffering or painful of children, how Heavenly Parent himself was painful and also the suffering. So even God, Heavenly Parents, patient those painfulness and still believe people, still love people, and still wish the children to stand and to come back to Heavenly Parents and True Parents. This is the attitude. This is the heart of God. So we have to understand this heart of God. This is the God. This is the God we must call our Father. We must call him our Father, not as a name or title, but because we feel that way about him, because we feel that way about him in our heart. A new teaching must emerge on this earth that will move people to relate as blood kin, parents, and brothers and sisters on a global scale. As they do, they can learn loyalty to God, creating a bond with God in heart that enables them to act centering on heaven's heart. This heart is beyond time and space, beyond people and nations. Without such a teaching, this world will break apart. When we see the society or world, now world is going to the different way without relating the original ideal of nation and the world. So when we see another neighbors, another family members, another races or nation, what do you feel? Do you feel some connection with the neighbor's family or neighbor's races or even another country people? Do you feel something, maybe sometimes sadness or happiness, but how deep do we feel that to another family or another peoples? Now in Ukraine situation is serious, but honestly, how much do we feel those painfulness or suffering is as my suffering, my family situation, my physical situation or not? And there are many kinds of suffering people on this earth in some country or some place, but how much do we feel? How much do we share those painful heart or suffering heart together with them? So Father is sharing. Finally, we have to reach or return back the connection with all brothers and sisters as the family. So that is our target and goal. But when we see our reality, we still far. So we have to recognize our point and toward the goal, we have to reaching one by one. That's why Father is mentioning that new truths, new philosophy, new thought have to come. Actually, those suffering person are my brother, my parents, my son and my daughter. If this thought doesn't come to us, if we cannot gain these things from bottom of our heart, we could not reach the final goal of our heavenly parents. So this is the final slide. Now, human beings have nowhere to go, but we have to face a final showdown. So we cannot just wallow in despair. Now, a movement of truth has to arise, inspiring us to advance into a new heaven and earth with the genuine truth. We need a standard bearer who can guide us on this one and only path of life to clean up our deplorable environment, which we face with hopeless despair, and to pursue the true way. We have been following this or that ideology, looking for the truth. It is only when the complete truth emerges that this world can be united completely. Once we learn this truth, we can and must perfect our character and our heart. Until now, all our people in the world is living separately. But when we see the root of our human history, actually everyone starts from one family, one race, and one nations. So when we see the North Korea and South Korea, those nations are separated now, but actually those nations' root was same. Just same nation, but temporarily they are separated. So our human being, our history is also same. Just separated temporarily, but originally all people, all nation is from one nation. So when we see those problem is the common problem as a human society, and all of us solve together as one subject or one issue of our brothers and sisters, then surely those things will be overcome with our own peoples, and surely we can become back and fulfill the ideal of God and heavenly parents. So until now, God was leading these problems. Our ancestor and the history was leading like this, and now currently our true parents is leading this one. That's why in this time period, we have to make a conclusion, and we have to make fruited, and we have to prepare for the next generation. So how much mother is sharing her heart seriously to our brothers and sisters, because she knew the heaven's timetable. That's why mother is talking seriously, how much in each time, each moment is important. And true mother is looking at each person's beautiful future. That's why mother is emphasizing now how much this time is important. So we have to unite totally together with our true mother, heavenly parents, and true parents. So today we are reading about mother's anthology and Chonsongyeon. So we will feel God's heart, we will understand God's wish, and we will fulfill that through testifying heavenly parents and true parents. So this is the really heaven's wish, and this is the actually witness the people. Even start from one person, start from 2 person or 3 person. Through this process, we can become the filial sons and daughters. We can return the happiness. We ourselves become also happy person together. So today we will start the new day, new moment. So let's prepare, let's plan again, and let's offer the victory and happiness to our heavenly parents and true parents. Thank you, all our brothers and sisters to join the morning Hoon Dok Hae. Let's have a great time. 감사합니다.
Kamsahamnida. Thank you very much, Reverend Yutaka, for sharing with us every morning, and really bringing God's words to life and into our imagination. And today we will have breakout sessions. So I'll just create the rooms. Okay. And let's join our rooms. Thank you. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a great time in your rooms. Yeah, a lot of good discussions about how to do Sunday service and what it means, and how to apply it, and always to be fresh and new, and to welcome and to love. So thank you. I'll just share the screen so that we can offer our unison prayer. Let's begin. Aju, Aju, Aju. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day and see you all tomorrow. Okay.
You.
Thank you.
Our ancestors are waiting, the spirits are waiting in our prayer rooms.
That's right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.